Initially, it was for my dad, who was, he was 92, and he was doing all the old man stuff. His hip was killing him, and he was like, he had multiple problems. I mean, I won't get into the whole litany of complaints, but hey, your engine starts wearing out. You got to replace the carburetor and a few other things. We took him down there, and he got, I think it was like a double dose in the hip. I think he gave
So where did you have to go? This is not legal in America. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Right now, there are clinical trials going on in the U.S., but it's not broadly available. And in Panama, they passed a law in 2004 which allowed doctors actually to go down there to be able to treat people with using adult stem cells. So the bill was actually designed to prohibit the use of embryonic stem cells, and in the same law they said it's okay to use adult stem cells, including those from umbilical cord, basically from ethical sources. And so in Panama, they gave us, we have a license from the Ministry of Health to manufacture and use those cells in addition to doing clinical trials there. So it's one place on the planet where you can get really high quality umbilical cord, this type of cell. There are two major kind of stem cells. We only work with one kind, the mesenchymal, or we just call it MSC. It's a lot easier. And so anyway, that's how I think we actually owned apartments in the same building in Panama, never met each other, and we met through his brother finding us on the internet. And
there you go.
And then they brought him down to get treatment. We were quite hesitant to take him, because the last thing you want is Mel Gibson's dad to drop dead in your clinic, and he wasn't in great shape, So
he wasn't in good shape at all.
But as I recall, when he got there, he was in a wheelchair and really wasn't talking a lot and things like that, and having a pretty rough time. And then so after getting medical clearance for him to actually fly down there, and Mel flew him down there privately, then we did some IVs on him first in the clinic.
Intravenous stem cells.
Right, intravenous, that's correct.
And what's the benefit of intravenous stem cells? Like, what does that do?
Well, the good thing is that this kind of stem cell, the mesenchymal stem cell, they're found throughout your body, and normally what they do is they modulate your immune system, they decrease inflammation, and they stimulate regeneration. So, and the good thing about them is they tend to home to areas where there is inflammation. So intravenously, they do a lot of things, but they can home to areas of inflammation, and they really reduce inflammation in the body because they upregulate part of your immune system that controls the inflammatory process.
And so what was his response to this IV treatment?
Wow. I can wax lyrical about that. He's almost 100 years old. And from pretty bad shape, it was like bee stings. It was like he got a new lease of life. Like he got a big dose locally in the hip, which fixed all his inflammation and pain, and he started walking again. And his kidneys were good, and his heart, he had a prolapsed valves in there, and they healed. And his cognitive powers improved. His eyesight improved.
Whoa.
And other stuff improved that he would hate me to talk about. But he had two nurses that reported to me. And it was like, holy mackerel.
Wow.
Using it as a towel rack,
Well, Dan Bilzerian was telling me about intravenous stem cells, and so was Boss Rutan. Boss Rutan, the former UFC heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
He went down and got some. He's had some pretty significant neck injuries and neck fusions, and he said he got intravenous stem cells. And the way he described it is like, with his Dutch accent, like, it was like I had lightning coming out of my fingers, like, wah!
Did he go to you?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it was phenomenal. I mean, he said it's one of the most incredible experiences he's ever had.